Hello, I'm Tom Parker and welcome to Voices from the CEPS Ideas Lab. In this episode, I spoke with Apostolos Thomadakis. Apostolos is Head of Research at the European Capital Markets Institute, an independent research institute run by CEPS Financial Markets and Institutions Unit. During our interview, we discussed how European pension funds can be better mobilised to support capital markets and the policy reforms required to ensure pension funds deliver economic productivity. I hope you enjoy the episode. Well, Apostolos, welcome. Thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about the current situation with European pension funds and capital markets. Can you give us a bit of an explainer of where we are currently?
Yeah. Pension funds are an important institutional investor in Europe, alongside institutional insurance companies, asset managers, so pension funds are also playing an important role. And we know that Europe has to raise a lot of capital to finance its needs, security, defense, energy, digital. So we need institutional investors, and we need pension funds to be able to contribute and help us raise the capital that is currently missing. So that's the main purpose, and let's say the main benefit that European capital markets can have from institutional investors.
So how can we, allow European pension funds to better support capital markets, to better drive sustainable economic growth in some of the sectors that you've just mentioned there?
One of the main problems first that we have is that pension funds invest or allocate a niche portion of their assets under management into innovation, financing technology, startups, and so on and so forth. So the question is how we can mobilize that, what we can do. And sometimes we compare the situation in Europe with what it is in the US, and it's completely different there, the situation. Why European pension funds do not invest a lot? In some member states, the situation is completely different. Like, for example, the Nordics, like the Dutch, or even the UK. Although part of outside of the EU, but it's also an example. And we can look what we can do, why these examples are successful and the rest no. Of course, we have 27 different member states, 27 different pension national systems, because pension is a national sovereignty issue. So the EU as a EU in Brussels here cannot do anything. Member states are that they have to act, is a competence of member states. So that's why you see these big discrepancies, because some member states allow pension funds to invest more, some others not. And also, don't forget that to invest in innovation, you need to have the expertise. As a pension fund, you need to have the knowledge to evaluate young companies with intangible assets, so you need also that. And given that in Europe we have many small and big member states, many small and big pension funds, that's also another situation. So I think moving forward what Europe should do is to encourage more funded pension schemes. So to allow and give them the opportunity to invest more, release more, and help innovation, help the European companies. We need them in the current situation in which we are.
Is there a particular sector that, say, for example, the US pension funds are excelling better at investing in? The technology, AI, they're much more pro that, and in some European countries, very much not. Is that a good example of what needs to change?
That's partly, in fact, it's true. Yes, they are more AI, sustainable, digital, clean energy, and so on. But one thing that we have to understand is that also in Europe, we don't lack that. We don't lack great ideas, great mind. We have the expertise, we have the knowledge. The point is how we can move forward, how an idea that it's developed, created in Europe, we can have it built and mature and become an investment company, a big company like the Google, the Amazons, and all of them. So that's the main problem.
You mentioned green energy sector, infrastructure around that. What role do pension funds play in bridging, say, funding gaps towards, a shift towards greener future and greener energy deals?
I think they play a great role, and they should play even greater role, because sustainability in green is a long-term perspective.
Yeah.
So investing also in innovation is a long-term project. It's not something that you invest today and in 3 years you go out. So this is the alignment, let's say, of the mandate in which pension funds have to provide financing for the older people, and also sustainability has a long-term dimension that these two can match together.
Well, in your opinion, what policy reforms need to be put in place, as you mentioned, to protect, retirees, but also to improve economic productivity?
I mean, this is what we're trying to achieve in Europe with the Capital Markets Union, which now has been renamed to Savings and Investment Union. This is much better to understand what we're trying to achieve, savings into investments. And that's what we're missing, that's the big gap in Europe. We have a lot of savings into bank deposits, but we need to move them out and put them into areas and sectors, digital, sustainable, innovation, where they can work for us and provide for the aging of the population and the years that they are coming upon us. So that's the main goal that we have in Europe. We will achieve it or not, it remains to be seen.
Apostolos, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Really appreciate you coming here.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.